Hey, what's up everyone? Nathan Hamilton here. Today we're going to talk about stabilization with your video and if you can do it on a budget. But before we get into it, cue that sweet intro. So today we're going to put them all to the test because as I look at it, there's some options out there. iPhone 7 Plus has image stabilization built into it. There's Filmic Pro if you're not familiar with it. It's an app that you can buy for your iPhone and it unlocks all of the features of essentially a professional camera inside of your iPhone. You can have control over ISO, shutter, all the different more advanced techniques that a lot of professionals use to make better videos. And within Filmic, there is an image stabilization feature which I recently came across. I haven't tested it out. We're gonna try it today for the first time on video. And the third option, if you are a little bit less budget conscious, is essentially looking at one of these guys, the DJI OSMO Mobile. And if you're not familiar with it, it's essentially a gimbal, a stabilization gimbal. Some people call it a selfie stick, but it's not really a selfie stick. But you do have 3-axis stabilization, which is side to side, the rotating, and also forward and back. But you don't have that 4th axis, the important one, which is the up and down. So when you are running or you are walking, you are going to have a smooth image, but not like you'd have with a professional, say, glide cam or anything like that. We've got the iPhone 7 Plus camera with image stabilization built in. We're gonna run Filmic Pro on the iPhone 7 Plus and check out the image stabilization. And we're gonna test out the DJI OSMO Mobile with my iPhone and see which is better at stabilization and see if any of them can come close to professional footage. And we'll do some various tests and see how it goes. Now the first test we're going to run is walking upstairs first in regular motion and then slow it down so we can see what happens and then speed up to normal speed. The iPhone alone starts off somewhat well, nice and smooth, and slow it down here a little bit juddery, most with the frame rate, and then speed it back up to normal. It looks pretty good. The same Stairway filmed with Filmic Pro image stabilization isn't quite as good as the iPhone 7, as you can see here. Just around a little bit, image stabilization has a hard time keeping up, and at the end here, it's just not as stable. Of the three, the Osmo Mobile is probably the most buttery smooth, and you can see this walking up the stairs here. Not much jut to it. Slows down, looks pretty good. Frame rate's still an issue, but finishes off nicely. Now the second test is going to push the stabilization a bit further and see what we can do while jogging and see if stabilization is able to keep up. And starting off here with the iPhone 7 Plus, you can see almost immediately how poorly image stabilization performs while jogging. Slowed down here, even worse, and then finishing off at the end. And we're going to see the same issues with Filmic Pro image stabilization starting off here. Super juddery image, very hard to watch, and very shaky. The digital image stabilization does not perform well at all on Filmic Pro when jogging. Lastly, with the Osmo Mobile, this perhaps performs the best, but there's still some issues using it with the iPhone 7. A little bit of trouble handling the image stabilization, but you can see the x-axis is kept flat, which didn't happen with either the iPhone 7 Plus when holding it in hand or Filmic Pro, of course. And the last test we're going to run is B-roll to see if we can get that buttery smooth footage, which looks professional. Now the iPhone 7 performs pretty much as expected with B-roll. You can see here, it isn't super buttery smooth, but for a handheld shot, it does okay. In this B-roll instance, Filmic Pro actually performs pretty well, as you can see right here. Not too juddery, somewhat stable, looks okay for a handheld shot. And the OSMO Mobile performs pretty well for a handheld gimbal, save for this little overexposure that we see right at the end here. So there you have it. You see the footage, and if you were to compare them, you can see the iPhone 7 Plus image stabilization kind of juts in and out. It has been known to have that sort of kink in it. Sometimes when you move it slowly, you see it sort of refresh, or there's a little judder to it. And it's even worse when you combine that with Filmic Pro. It's very hard to actually watch, so if you were to put that into a video, it may not work that well. But if you look at some of the slower shots, maybe some where you're not jumping around or jogging like I was, but maybe slow B-roll moving the phone, Filmic might work for that, might work a little bit better, as would the iPhone 7 Plus. The DJI OSMO, I think that's the winner in this case, and obviously we may have known that would be the outcome, but you've got to spend some money to really get that image stabilization. And if you are considering it, do you want to throw down the 300 bucks? It is worth it to me. It really does increase the quality of your video. Now, caveat to that, there have been issues with the iPhone 7. The image stabilization fights with what DJI OSMO is doing. In those cases, you can see it in what we recorded outside and what we tested, because you still see that judder. I have shot with the OSMO Mobile on an iPhone 6 before, and all of those issues are gone. It's perfect. I'm extremely happy with the purchase, but I'm still trying to figure out how to get it to work right with an iPhone 7 Plus. So I hope you liked the video today, guys. If you do, go ahead and leave a comment below. Give it a thumbs up. Would really appreciate it if you could do so. See you in the next video.